Packaging and packaging recyclability and recycling is more complicated than just saying, here's the product, it's designed to be recycled.
Recycling often feels simple. We see a label, follow the instructions, and trust that the system will do the rest. But behind that simplicity is a complex network of materials, collection systems, and processing pathways. And when those don't align, that's when confusion and contamination can follow.
Chris Foley, CEO of APCO. APCO is the Australian Packaging Covenant Organisation. We are Australia's co-regulator for packaging. We bring together industry and government to drive environmental outcomes that are measurable, credible, and are advancing Australia's packaging system on behalf of both 2,500 members, but also 9 governments.
What are some of the realities of Australia's waste and recycling system that are often overlooked?
So, packaging and packaging recyclability and recycling is more complicated than just saying, here's the product, it's designed to be recycled. We have to take into account a number of steps in the system. The package needs to land in a collection system that not only collects it, it then sorts it, separates it, and then has it reprocessed. So there are a number of steps in that value chain that all need to be managed and coordinated for packaging to actually truly be recycled.
Why can't a single recycling system apply to all packaging formats?
So one of the challenges is, particularly for consumers, and we know that consumers really want to do the right thing. The challenge is with, say, a blister pack, you've got a really fit-for-purpose form of packaging. It's shelf-stable, it keeps it fresh, it keeps it light-proof, whatever it is. Inevitably though, with a blister pack, it's multiple materials that are fused together. Whereas with the curbside recycling system, the packaging going into the curbside bin, it's a single piece of packaging and it doesn't require a lot of unpacking, unbundling or splitting, unlike a blister pack. So it's really important that we don't have a blister pack go into the recycling bin because that will actually contaminate the curbside system.
That's where evidence-based, nationally consistent labelling plays such an important role, not just for consumers, but for brands and the system as a whole. Why is consistent evidence-based labelling so important?
One of the challenges with recycling and the recycling system is that there needs to be integrity and credibility. What we don't want to do is have packaging landing in the curbside system in particular that actually isn't recoverable or can't be sorted and or there is no end market. And that's critically important to the system because the worst outcome would be that we have essentially PVC and aluminium fused together in the form of a blister pack, landing in a curbside bin. All that that's going to do is cause contamination in the system.
What challenges arise when similar packaging carries different recycling messages?
It just confuses. And again, that's where we need alignment, and certainly the penetration and the uptake of the Australasian recycling label has been beyond anybody's wildest dreams. One of the challenges is when you have really generic messages, the use of the Mobius loop, for instance, as a catch-all, when in fact it's not relevant, it's misguided, and it confuses. So the answer here is not, if in doubt, put it in the curbside bin. It should actually be, if in doubt, don't put it in the curbside bin. And obviously, if there is the Australasian recycling label, follow its call to action.
What is the Australasian recycling label?
With the Australasian recycling label, that is the positive call to action as to what to do and what not to do. The role that the Australasian recycling label plays, providing evidence base that's Australian focused and also supporting the New Zealand system. It has integrity and it has relevance.
What sort of growth year on year are we seeing in uptake of the logo?
I've been involved as CEO for 3.5 years. We've gone from circa 200,000 SKUs to close to 600,000 plus. So the uptake has been quite profound and it's just growing in momentum. That reflects a lot of brand owners realising that extended producer responsibility is coming and that it is an asset, it's a national asset that certainly backs the curbside system in, and what we're seeing here in this instance is how we're adapting it, how we're evolving it to reflect the challenges of a diverse range of packaging formats that are, in this instance, really fit for purpose for pharmaceutical and are totally not appropriate to go through the curbside stream.
Blister packs are a good example of where good intentions don't always match system capability. Why are some packaging formats like blister packs more complex to recover?
Not all packaging can be treated the same way. When you've got packaging that serves particular requirements for the product that it's protecting and or transporting, blister packs do provide a particular service to the community, to health, to preservation of product and to transport of product. The challenge is, if it's made from PVC, it can't go into the curbside system. The curbside system's not designed to accept it, and it is actually seen as a contaminant.
Why is it important to clearly distinguish complex packaging formats from curbside recyclable items?
The challenge there is that if a piece of packaging, whatever shape, form it is, that's not able to be recovered and recycled, just ends up in the curbside system, particularly with some of the plastics, if they actually do get chopped up, and if it is a PVC plastic, which may look innocuous, it's clear plastic, it will actually contaminate a whole batch of PET going through a process. So it's critically important we keep these materials separated through the process of recovery and recycling. The PVC, if it does actually make its way right through and end up being chipped into a batch that looks and feels exactly like PET, it will actually contaminate the batch of PET that's being collected. And a small flick or fleck of PVC in a large batch of PET sees the whole thing going to landfill. It's critically important that it is not put through the curbside system, that it's put through an alternative pathway.
For materials that can't be recovered through curbside recycling, alternative destinations can provide a credible solution when they are governed properly. Why are alternative destinations so important?
Alternative destinations are really paramount, particularly for some of these niche packaging formats, but are essential packaging formats. Alternative destinations are a growth space. As packaging regulations become clearer, there will be a greater expectation on extended producer responsibility, and that in turn driving brand owners to be held accountable for where their packaging lands. And if you've done everything you can to choose the most sustainable packaging format, shape, size, colour, material, and it still is not able to be put through the curbside system, it has to go to an alternative destination. And obviously in this instance, the blister pack is drop-off only for Pharmacycle. Take it back into store where most consumers will be going to their pharmacy or their point of sale and return it to participating stores.
Why must alternative destinations be credible and operational?
The need for integrity and transparency with alternative destinations is paramount. If they are not backed in and able to be proved that the materials that are going their way genuinely not only recovered, sorted, cleaned, and then reprocessed within markets, there's no integrity in that system. So easy just to say, let's just keep collecting. And in fact, let's collect it and warehouse it. At some stage, there will be an end market or there'll be a process that may be able to recover and reuse the material. That's not good enough. Don't want to misguide consumers and or brand owners. So that's why the whole system needs to be validated.
What global trends are shaping the future?
There are some really guiding themes in and around mandates on design standards, mandates on recycled content, and then also looking at labelling. The other theme that we're also seeing is the use of extended producer responsibility fees or eco-modulated fees that are used by regulators to both incentivise packaging design and material selection, but also support the recovery of the materials and making sure that there are end markets. The benefit for a mandated label is just the consistency and the integrity that that then provides for the whole system.
What roles do brands play?
If you're a brand owner, you actually have an obligation to do your bit to recovering, sorting, cleaning, and then having the materials, the packaging formats find a second life. And all that has to be done with integrity.
how does the ARL help brands prepare for the future in Australia?
We do have, at the moment, a sense of regulatory uncertainty, but that's no reason to do nothing. The more that brand owners can get on board and really lean into the task at hand and get themselves ready and align their packaging formats with extended producer responsibility, the better, because for us, it's actually a really exciting concept moving forward with regulatory reforms coming, which will be driving extended producer responsibility. There will be more equity in the system, there'll be more integrity in the system. The opportunity now is align yourself, whether it be through APCO to strengthen your reporting, strengthen your packaging design and formats, but also through partners around stewardship solutions. With regulations that are coming, environment ministers have committed to mandated design standards. They've also committed to mandated recycled content. They're looking at things like a mandated label. The opportunity here is for brand owners to lean into this, to take responsibility for the packaging they place on market. And it's not just a case of I've sold it through the system, it's been retailed to a consumer, out of sight, out of mind. The concept of extended producer responsibility is that you then are actually responsible for making sure that the packaging at its end of life is actually recovered and that the environmental impacts are minimised. Your success is our success and vice versa.
As packaging systems evolve in Australia and internationally, collaborations between regulators, brands and specialist programs will be critical. Ultimately, it's about building trust with consumers, with industry and with the system itself.